Another week, another top 5 airing episodes. And I'm here to give you a recap of it and rank them for you so you know what to focus on. Here we are again, Hell's Paradise episode 7. Episode 7 starts with an absolute surprise when Toma is walking towards his brother. He gets to the top and suddenly they both attack the Tensen. Then they continue with an intense fight between the brothers and the Tensen and they show off their own improvements and they are having the upper hand the whole fight. The music during this fight is absolutely gorgeous, it's absolute peak. So then we move to the second fight of the group with the pink-haired Tensen. So the first half of the fight is pretty boring. We see how they are exchanging blows and the guys from the group still don't know how to use Tao. And because of this, the fight is very one-sided. So they are always hit by these Tao attacks and they really don't know what to do. And even though the blonde-haired guy has like the metal element against her wood element, I think, it still doesn't make a difference because he doesn't know how to use the Tao. And then we get to the second part of the fight, which is the most interesting one. We see a flashback of the big guy being explained where he's told that he cannot rely on his senses. So what does he do in this situation? He picks out his left eye. Yes, you heard me. He literally took out his left eye because he wanted to learn how to see Tao. So he wouldn't rely on his senses anymore. I swear to God, this guy is absolutely crazy. First he takes off his hand when, you know, the weird butterfly wanted to sting him in season 1. And now he takes out his left eye on the spot just to understand how Tao works and to see Tao. And seriously, this guy is absolutely crazy in the head, but I absolutely love it. I think it's absolutely perfect. And seriously, this episode was absolute peak. We had 2 fights. One of them was absolutely crazy with him gouging out his eyes, so that was absolutely crazy. I really was sitting in my chair and looking at it like, what? I believe this week was really an S tier episode, and if there is one episode of this week you really should watch, then it's Hell's Paradise for sure. And not only the fighting was good, but the animation, the music during the fights was absolutely S tier, and really Mappa is showing why they are the GOAT. Jujutsu Kaisen episode 8. Unfortunately for us, there was no new episode this week, but there was a recap episode. The reason for this is most likely the Winter Olympics, which means that the new 8th episode will premiere on Thursday, February 26. And then the second half of the Kuro will continue again every Thursday. Sentenced to be a Hero episode 7. This week's episode was a little bit slower, but nevertheless we still got a little bit of fighting. We also got introduced to a new hero called Jace, who is a dragon tamer. Dragons, yay! I think actually it was the only thing missing in this anime was actually dragons, and now we have them. The biggest surprise though was that we found out that Xylo has actually an ex-fiancé, according to his word, but she's still his fiancé. It's just like heroes cannot get married. And this fact actually got Theorita really jealous about it, and I was also surprised. And it also got jealous the captain of the 13th division. It's starting to slowly shift into a harem. What we also found out is that there is a new demon lord called Spriggan, who basically can take the shape of a human, so he's hidden somewhere in the city. And just as Silo, Theorita and the whole hero group was walking through the marketplace, they got ambushed by some group, and then they moved into like a back alley where they found this dangerously looking gang, and inside the gang there was a weird looking dude. The fight got really intense, but thanks to our new hero Jace, who came with his dragon Neely, the hero group was saved. The weird looking dude, who I assume is Spriggan, basically got away. And I must say this week's episode is S tier, and mainly it's because we still got a little bit of fighting and we got finally dragons introduced into the anime. So for me it's a huge W. Frieren episode 6. Frieren got the same treatment as Jujutsu Kaisen this week, so the episode was also delayed. There is kind of like this break, and it was again most likely because of the Winter Olympics. What will happen though, Frieren will start adapting the new arc from the next episode called the Divine Revolt, and finally we will get to be introduced to a new adversary, a new demon called General Revolt. So I think next week's episode will really be a banger. Oshinoko episode 6. This week's continue with Kana's struggle, and she is approached by a reporter who is asking what she was doing at the director's place, if you remember from last week's episode. Since she understood that this will most likely be a scandal, Kana's got really broken and she was really kind of out of the picture. And we basically dive deeper into the topic of girlfriends, boyfriends in the entertainment industry and what consequences it does have. And Kana is also like mentioned this, like if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend and you have these kind of scandals, then you know your image is ruined and you get really destroyed. So what happens next is that they actually start searching for Kana, so she's kind of lost. And while searching for her, Aqua finds Kana in a park. And what happens next is that basically Kana is searching for help, but she realizes that she is strong enough and she can make it by herself. She doesn't need any help, and that she will be genuine and she will continue to be the menace she is. And Aqua, seeing her from top, watches over her and says, this is exactly what I said. Kana cannot be really broken so easily. So for me, this week's episode is really A tier. I loved the fact that we continued with the Kana's story, basically, because we really focused on Ruby in the last episodes. So I really love Kana. I'm a huge fan of Kana. So for me, this was really a perfect episode. There was no scandal. There was not a lot of drama. So I missed this small thing to really have it as S tier. But for me, it's still a solid A tier. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like or subscribe. And let's see each other on next week's weekly summary.